Alright guys, so here's the deal. I've started and I quit a lot of different series. Series? What's the plural of series? A lot of different series on this channel, and I apologize for that, you know. I just get excited about something and I do one episode of it and then I just stop doing it. And it's just ADHD brain happening right there. So I apologize for that. But I want to start a new one and I want to stick with this one because I think this new series that I'm about to unveil will be very beneficial for you guys, okay? So what it is sometimes you are invited to an event or a party or something, some kind of get together or something like that, and you know that you're going to be doing magic, and people know too that you're magicians, so your brain starts racing with ideas. Oh shit, what am I going to do? What tricks can I do to impress these people? You want to do your best stuff and your best material to really amaze these people, right? So then this new series is going to be those anytime, anywhere, any deck of cards, no setup, no marked cards, no gaffs, no pencil dots, nothing like that. It's surefire, 100% amazing tricks to amaze anybody and freak people out with just a normal, everyday deck of cards that you find in your grandma's kitchen junk drawer. And also, having said that, these are sort of those on-the-spot tricks that you can do anytime with no preparation that's sure to amaze and freak out people who watch it. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to start building a playlist of all these videos, these anytime, anywhere tricks for your enjoyment pleasure. And so, next time when you're out or invited for one of these things and you know, hey, Sean made this playlist of anytime, anywhere tricks. I should watch these. And so this is your go-to place to get those tricks for next time this thing happens to you. So I got your back. I got you covered for this. Now listen, all of these tricks that'll be in this series are audience tested and road tested, and the ones that I know from experience really plays a big impact for people, okay? So it's not just one of those things where I'm just pulling something out of my ass and saying, look, do this because it impresses me. No, they really do, because I know from experience that they 100% do, okay? So I'll shut up and then we'll just get right into it. Alright guys, so here's what this trick looks like. I will perform this for an imaginary person so you can get a sense of how the flow looks and how it can look for a real person. So pardon the weirdness of me talking to an imaginary person, okay? So I just want you to see what it looks like. So after I do that, I'll explain exactly how this thing is done. Alright, so check this out. If you don't trust me, you can shuffle these up just to make sure they're in a random order that's completely unique to you, okay? So they shuffle the cards if they want to, it doesn't really matter, alright? So now when I take them back, I'll say, look, we'll take out some cards to use from the middle of the deck, just some random cards. Maybe we'll go for a 7, maybe we'll go for, an ace, the ace of clubs there. We'll go for maybe, I don't know, something down here. Let's go, maybe the 5 of diamonds. Maybe we'll go for one more, the jack of spades. A pretty good mixture of cards here to use. Now, by chance, did you remember the order of these cards? If I mix them up, there's definitely no chance, right? So now in a minute, you're going to pick one of these. You're just going to point to one. But before you do that, bear in mind that some cards have a high influence on other cards. So just keep that in mind as you pick one of these, all right? So maybe they go for this one, I don't know, right here. Okay, that's their choice. We put that card right there. Now I'll use the next one, the ace of clubs in this case. Now, which I said, some cards have an influence on other cards. If I do this on your card that you picked, sort of rub it like this. Watch what happens to this card. It also turns into the other black ace. That's why some cards have influence on other cards. But watch, it gets better if I do this. Rub these like this. They all turn to that ace. Okay guys, so I call this trick cards of influence, okay? So what you're gonna do is really have the person shuffle as much as they want to. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference because it's completely impromptu. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is take out all 4 aces, but it's going to look like you take out 3 random cards and an ace, okay? So, and you do that with a switch called the caps switch, or sometimes called the Roy Walton laydown switch, okay? So here's what that looks like. You're going to start spreading through the deck, and the first ace that you come to, you're going to take the card above it out, or so it seems, okay? So in this case, we see here we have the 9 of diamonds, and it's going to look like you take that 9 off like this, but really you take that ace that's right on top of it, okay? So again, you're looking for an ace, okay? So keep in mind you're always looking for aces. So you spread through, and the first ace that you come to, like this. In this case, we have the ace of clubs again. Okay, so you see the ace of clubs right here in the spread, and the card that you point to and call attention to is the card above it. In this case, the three of diamonds right here, right? So in the action of turning this card over and taking it and putting it down, or so it seems, you're going to actually take the three and the ace. Okay, so you do that simply just by pushing both cards over. It's not a difficult move. It's not even a move. You're just pushing cards over like this. Okay, so you just do this and you just take both cards from underneath. You have your fingers here and you just have these both pushed over, and you just simply take both cards like this off the spread and lay down the ace. But done at speed and sort of necktie, it really looks like you take the three. So watch, we'll take the three, boom, there it is, and you switched it for the ace. And this is one of those things where being left-handed is in my favor, because when I'm going through and looking for cards like this, my thumb sort of hides that ace pip. So if you're left-handed, this is a perfect trick for you. So shout out to my lefty brothers. All right, so once again, you're spreading through. And by the way, if you come to a situation where like you're like here and there's a card, second, there's an ace second from the bottom like this, just simply go through and see what cards can we use. Just sort of mix them up a little bit. That way they're distributed evenly. All right, so there's an ace right there. So we don't want it that close to the top. So again, you're just sort of looking through like this and mixing cards around. That's never going to happen twice in a row, so that's a perfect example. But it doesn't matter anyway. Nobody knows what's going to happen, so it doesn't matter if you're mixing cards around anyway. So that's what that happens. So again, just look for an ace. So you want to, again, really 3 times in a row. Right. Again, we'll look for an ace. Let's see, we'll take out some random cards to use. Ooh, maybe an 8. Okay, so you point out the 8, right? So you do the switch, boom. This time we'll take out another card, maybe further down. And this time we come to an ace, you're really going to put the ace down. All right, so we'll take an ace and be fair about it. Be as fair as you can about it. Be open as you can with it. Okay, so they see the ace, and that's the second time you do it. Okay, so go again, look for it. Ooh, another ace right there. Boom, you do the switch again. Keep going, and we'll take one more. Ooh, the 6. Okay, so now at this point, all the cards are aces, okay? So, but the second one from the bottom is the actual ace you took out, okay? So people will remember this ace, okay? So now you say, look, by chance, do you remember the order of these cards? If I mix them like this, then there's definitely no way you can remember them, right? So now what you're doing here is you want to shuffle the known ace to the top, the ace that you saw, the one you actually took out, to the top of the deck, okay? So you're just mixing these around and like this, blah blah blah, and it's not important. I just like to do it that way. I can just keep track of it easier. Okay, so that's on top. Now you say, look, in a minute you're gonna take a card out, but before you do that, bear in mind that some cards have an influence on other cards. All right, so before you take it out, just keep that in mind. Okay, so this makes no sense to them right now, but in a minute it will. Okay, so they take maybe this one out, boom, and they put it on the table without looking at it. Now you say, look, I'll take the next one and just turn the top card over. And this is the ace they saw you take out. So everything looks as it should, right? So watch. You say, look, some cards have an influence. So if I do this, if I rub it like this, and now you just sort of pin it down and use this as a scoop to put it under the card and pick both cards up and sort of rub them around like this. And like this. Watch, if I do this and if I rub it like this, that ace influences this card to turn into another ace. But what about these? If I do this, and you can just do it again if you want to, like this. If I rub them like this again, and like this, that influences the other cards to become aces as well. And trust me when I say, guys, that this just blows their mind. There's no way that these could have turned into different aces, especially since, having them pick a card, it doesn't matter. But they later remember the fact that, I could have picked any one of those. I could have picked any card at all. How do you do that? How do you know? So having them pick a card like that really goes a long way. And they misremember, say, how did I could have picked any card, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't matter anyway, right? So here's what happens if they actually do pick the ace. So remember, it's on top, and they go for the top card. And the ace. Watch. If I do this, remember, some cards have an influence on other cards. If I do this like this, watch what happens. If I rub these around like this, it turns into an ace. But not just that one. all 4 aces. And so you have a complete miracle if that happens, if they actually do pick the actual ace. So that is the trick, guys. One more thing to know, if like maybe in the middle of the deck you come to a situation where you have 2 aces next to each other, just do the shuffle thing again. So you're here, blah blah blah, taking cards out. We'll use a king, we'll use a card further down, and you see there's 2 aces. Don't freak out, don't panic. Just maybe what other cards can we use, and just sort of do this kind of thing and sort of mix cards around. And you want to, like, I don't know, do something like this just to make sure, just move cards around, guys. It's not that hard, okay? Just move cards around. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got a value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.